In step 8, I want to sketch in the comic into my drawing paper. And what I'm going to do is compare the comic to each box. I'm going to try to maintain the proportions of how much the figure takes up in each box. I pick any box to start. So I want to start, I suppose, with this box right here. So I have my comic right next to it, and I see that some of these letters are in the bottom of this box. I see that this lady's head, and I can draw extra lines if I need to, so I'm going to. I can always erase them. I see that this lady's head comes about halfway across the box and about halfway up in the box. It takes up about a fourth of this whole box. So I'm going to draw in those lines, just sketch them in lightly, about a little bit over this way. And I see her head takes up most of this box. So basically, here's her face, here's her hair, a little bit up, and then it comes kind of straight down into the next box. Now I'm going to work on her hair a little bit more later. Right now I just want to get the basic sketch in. I see her eye is into the next box, right about like so. She has another, let's see, here comes her nose. Her nose and her chest, comes down maybe halfway. So here's her nose. Oops, I don't know if it's quite like that. I'm gonna just kind of trace it in here. And I see right here comes a shoulder, and then right by the shoulder there's some thing she's holding. I don't know what that is. I'm just lightly sketching it in. I'm gonna make it better later. I see her sleeve comes almost, not quite that far, I think about that far. Straight back. I see her arm comes below the line, comes back up again, and kind of lines up with the bottom of her nose, kind of right there. Doesn't go all the way, but her hand kind of goes right here, comes up this way, kind of even with this, so I'll bring it down more. And then, let's see, this goes down to her elbow. She's got a little crease in her arm right about there. And then the arm goes back up. And the hand kind of goes over there. There's not too much of her dress showing. Okay, her nose isn't quite right. I'm not worried about that yet. I can fix that up a little bit later. Right now I'm just trying to sketch in the basic proportions. And I see her hair kind of goes like that and comes across like that. Maybe down a little bit lower, actually. Okay, actually the forehead looks a little bit tall. Maybe I want to bring the hair down a little bit more. I don't know. And then another, maybe the glasses are a little more square, I think. And then her frame, oops, this comes over a little bit more. Her frame goes about halfway. Maybe not quite so much. This hair comes out a little bit more. Maybe not so much. So I'm kind of messing with that a little bit too much. I'm going to ignore that for now. I see that her, she has a collar that comes down. See, here's her smile. Her collar comes down about a little bit lower than the smile, and then here comes a V down to about right below her smile. Right in the middle of her nose comes that V. So I think her face is a bit wider than I'm giving it credit for. But I'll work on that later. I don't need to do that right now. Right now I just kind of want to sketch it in. So I'm looking at the bottom of this box, and here's the bottom of that box, and here comes her sleeve out a little bit, kind of right at the bottom of that box. There goes her arm, right there. There's a little button right there. Actually, I'm noticing I'm a little bit off, because I'm noticing the bottom of the box, here comes the button, here comes that, here comes that, here comes her eyes. So I'm thinking the button needs to be lower, and this V-neck needs to be lower, and that might help things look better. Yep, and this needs to be more like that. So anyway, all I'm really doing is I'm trying to follow what's in the box and fill in what's in the box. So this obviously needs a little more work. And then here comes this part. There's the balloon comes in like this. This little part, this is right here, kind of like that, and goes back out to about here. So basically I filled in 2 boxes, and I just proceed across the whole cartoon like that. Just a special note, when you're doing words that are the same height, I like to tool them in. So I use a ruler, and I just draw guidelines. So this has 3 lines of text. So there's 1 line of text. I give a little space in between so the words don't run together. And I make this about the same width as that one. So give a little space. And create the next line. What this does for me is it helps me give the text uniform height. So for instance, let's just go in this box. So right here, there's a, let's go right up here. It's a little bit kind of higher. I should have made this a little bit higher, so I guess I'm going to put it up here. So this would be this comes straight down. My question mark. This S, like so. This R is like so. So it just helps to have these guidelines. So I would suggest using the guidelines. It's good. I would continue to the whole comics filled up. And I'd check with someone to see how the proportions look.